Hi guys, Melanie here at Vision City Design Studio. In this video, I want to talk to you all about how to price your artwork for sale on Etsy. For those of you who don't know me, again, my name is Melanie. I'm the founder of Vision City Design Studio. I've been running my business for over 10 years, and recently, in the last 5 years, I've added art products to the whole lineup of my business, and it's really changed things for the better. I've had the opportunity to sell to customers all over the world on Etsy, as well as other selling platforms. And I've had the opportunity to do wholesale deals, licensing deals, major trade shows, be featured on major blogs, and so on. It's been a wild adventure, and I'm really excited because I love now to help other artists who want to get started on their art journey. If that's you, I know this video can help you, so keep watching. Now, pricing your art can be something that's really scary, and I know a lot of artists kind of panic and get really freaked out about it. I too felt the same way, like how do I know what to price things at? And honestly, at the beginning, I felt like I was kind of just guessing. Now, one of the ways you can really get started when it comes to pricing your artwork is to really compare what you make to other people. So number one, I always encourage my students that take my courses, my webinars, that buy my checklists and so on. I encourage them to do some research. Find out who else on Etsy, for example, is similar to what you do. This is going to take a little bit of rolling up your sleeves and doing a bit of research, and that's okay. I encourage people to find other artists and creatives who are making something that's similar to them. That's step one. Now, step two, I encourage you then to check out their pricing and then go on to the next step, which is to really compare quality. Now, when it comes to pricing, quality is everything. For example, sizing. How does their sizing and your sizing compare? If you offer something that's larger, you can usually offer a price that's a little bit higher. Now, if your product, for example, is a different type of paper quality, for example, I sell art prints, but all of my paper is 100-pound, 100% recycled. So as you can imagine, my price to actually make my products is going to be a lot more than it would be to just buy the regular paper that you can get at any copy center. So I literally have to spend more money, a lot more money, making my products than somebody who just uses the regular copy paper. Even if they're using a heavier weight copy paper, if it's not recycled, it's going to be a lot less expensive. So for that reason, I can charge a little bit more. Now, I don't want to be outrageous and price myself out of the market, because then we're not going to actually get sales. So you don't want to price yourself so high that you're losing sales, and you don't want to price yourself too low because then people perceive that the product isn't all that good. So you want to be right in the middle to get the most potential buys. Another way you can really compare pricing is by using Marmalade. I talk about this a lot in my online program called the Etsy Artist Dream Kit. But for those of you who are new to this concept, Marmalade is an online program where you can actually discover the right keywords and do keyword research for your online Etsy shop. So it's specific for Etsy in finding the right keywords for your shop. Now, without going into too much SEO in this video, I want to talk to you just specifically about pricing. Now, within the keyword research tool of Marmalade, there's actually a whole section all about comparing prices. So it's a really great way to figure out what would be the high price point, what would be the medium, and what would be the low, and trying to figure out where you want to be in that. And it's a really great way to determine, am I pricing a little bit too high? Am I pricing in the more moderate pricing? Or am I pricing way too low and pricing myself too low out of the market? So that's another really great research tool for not only SEO, but for pricing. A lot of people miss that in Marmalade, and it's a really, really great tool. Another thing to consider when you are thinking about pricing your artwork is, do you offer custom? If you're customizing any part of your artwork for your customer, again, you can increase the pricing for that product. So for example, maybe you're making baby art prints for baby rooms, but you are customizing the name and you're adding, say, maybe the birth details like the weight, the baby's height, and so on. Maybe you're adding specific details, or maybe you're making custom invitations. Any kind of custom artwork or custom designed piece. Maybe you're a watercolor painter and you actually get photos of people's homes, for example, and you do watercolor illustrations of someone's home. For that reason, the fact that it's actually a custom job, you can charge more of a price. Again, I encourage you to find other people who are also doing custom work in your niche and find out what it is they are charging to give you a bit of a basis. And don't just find one, find like 8. Find like almost like 8 to 10 people. Find a variety, write them all down, and kind of figure out the averages. Find that middle ground that you're comfortable with, but that you're not going to be overpricing and you're not going to be underpricing. Again, you want to find that middle road because that's where you're going to meet the most customers. So I want to encourage you in that if you're offering custom, that's another way to price your work. Now, I actually have a webinar that I want to make sure you're aware about, that it is awesome. It's about an hour and a half. It's a pre-recorded webinar. I've done a really great Q&A at the end of it as well. And the chat is technically live because as you're chatting, it's coming to me over email and I'm answering your questions. So I want to make sure you know about it. It is actually underneath this video. Go ahead and click on that link while it's free and while it's live so that you can actually go ahead and check out this free webinar where I talk a lot more about making money selling your art and really how to build an online art brand without becoming completely overwhelmed and stressed out. I'm really passionate to help artists that are just like you guys. So go ahead and click that link and join the webinar, and I will see you in there.